people don't know what to do. They sit at home and they complain and they mad and they cry and what have you. And by us starting this petition, we're getting the word out and people are coming together. This can open up talks for other things that we might start a petition for, or that we might come together for, because a lot of times when we're angry, we don't know the right way to do things, and sometimes when you're angry, you act out in violence. So with
Yes.
us doing this petition, it's showing that this is the right way to do something, and it's also showing the person or people that are the racists, that are making these comments, that do have a business that expect us to patronize them even though they're racist against us. It shows them that when we come together, we can shut you down.
Absolutely.
We can put a stop to what you're doing. Now, true enough, she can go start it somewhere else, but you won't be in Carson.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
right.
the other thing is that when we go to these nail salons, unless you can speak the language, a lot of times exactly what this woman is saying on her page is exactly what they're saying while you're sitting in their face
Absolutely.
and they're doing your nails, and then you pay them, and then you tip. You might give a huge tip to somebody who just said, look at this nigga's nails. Now
Right.
she knows she don't need to be having this, and then they thank you, and then they talk about you behind your back. So
Right.
Oh yeah.
we actually caught this woman basically voicing her
Mm-hmm.
opinions about us. She voiced it
Yeah.
on a page. And so I've had friends that actually speak the language of whatever
You
um,
speak it.
the store owner, like Vietnamese. Well, I speak Korean.
Don't say you friends. Say you speak it, because I
Well,
have been in beauty supply with Kenji.
I
And
know
I have been there, and
Korean
Kenji
people.
starts speaking in their language.
Uh-oh.
They're shocked because she is actually speaking their language. And
Hmm.
they
Wow.
don't expect her to do it.
Oh, trust me, I've been in elevators with Korean people where they talked about like the person next to me or what
Mm.
have you, and I checked them in Korean, and the black I remember it was a black girl, a heavyset girl, and they were telling her that she was tungtunge, that means fat, and
Oh.
so and I told him in Korean, Joshime, like be careful, and I told him I was a Michinom. I'm okay. I'm not going to go tell everything I said, but I told him I was crazy. I said, be careful because I'm a crazy black girl. You don't know that I can understand you. And next thing I know, girl, the elevator was quiet. But what I'm saying is when you it's unfortunate I don't speak Vietnamese, because if I did, I'd probably tell them off too, because I believe that's what that particular shop owner is. I believe she's Vietnamese. But I have
Yeah,
my
she
daughter has
is.
a friend who's speaks Vietnamese, and she tells us stories about when she goes in these nail salons. They don't expect us to speak the language, so they speak
Right.
freely.
Hmm.
And I will give kudos to there's a salon, nail salon in Inglewood, and I will give
Mm-hmm.
kudos to them because they have a sign that says, if your nail tech speaks in the language and you're uncomfortable, let us know.
Wonderful.
They tell their workers, do not speak in your native language to in front of these clients to each other. And I
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
very rude. I think it's very rude.
Mhm. Yes.
And yeah, and now what this person has taken is doing now, she has taken to Facebook and created another page in her name and saying that she's from Vietnam or she lives in Vietnam, and that and then she's proceeding to say a whole bunch of racist stuff in Vietnamese. But what's so ignorant and stupid of her is that there's a little button that you
Yep.
click that says see translation. You stupid cow. We can see what you're saying in English.
Yeah. I saw her page, Tarsha, and I was disgusted and appalled at what she was saying. And I mean, she was going on a rant,
Yes.
and she was finding, it seems like she was seeking out posts with black people in them
Yes.
that make,
And it's I think she's baiting us. She's baiting people that are challenging her. I don't again, someone said that her husband owns an insurance company, and people really think she's baiting someone to go and burn her shop down so she can collect the money because it's been
yeah.
closed for months.
Well, like I
And
said
that's not going to
before, we're
happen.
not going to do that. Yeah. That's
Mm-mm.
not what we're
No.
going to do.
No.
because she thinks that Black people are ignorant and
How can she do
violent
it
and
herself
whatever.
and
And
try to
not
get it?
we're not all we don't all react that way. And I'm not going to
Right.
say that if you're Black and you react angrily that you're ignorant or violent. Some people don't know how to express themselves in a way that is going to be productive, and the first
Right.
thing they do is they act out of emotions. That doesn't make you ignorant. That just you're just angry and you don't
Yes.
know. But it takes some educated,
Mm-hmm.
smart, not so angry.
Mhm.
Well, I would say we're angry, but we're just going to go the right route.
Right. We're going to do this intelligently. And
There
that's
you go.
why, I've really been monitoring that Facebook group. If somebody come, oh, we're going to, nope, I will delete you. I'm not playing that because we're going to do this the right way. We're
Yeah.
going to do this the right way. We're going to set an example and do this the right way. And the ultimate goal is we want her out of Carson. We want her out of Carson. I've had people come to me and say, well, what about her other shops? I really don't care about her other shops because they're in Orange County and areas that are more predominantly white. And so let that be their problem. But you can't be in a community where 95% of your patrons are African American and speak the way you speak about us. I can't sleep at night knowing that she's doing this. So that's why it's become real passionate for me to see this through. And I've gotten the councilman. Is it Jawan?
Jawan Hilton.
Yeah, I've got him involved. He's highly upset about this. I wrote a letter. They read my letter in their last council meeting, and the council, for the most part, are upset and they want her out. But I think they're going to have to figure out a way to do this because the city attorney made a very good, valid point that she does have freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm.
And she does. But again, it's just appalling to all of us as African American women, and particularly those who live in Carson, that her freedom of speech speaks so poorly of us. So there lies the problem. So they're going to continue to work with us. Again, as I mentioned, I think last week, Tammy Mack is on board. She's angry about this. I talked to Michael Brownlee with NBCLA, and he's going to submit the story. So I'm getting people on board with this because I'm determined. I'm determined to make major noise when it comes to this lady because she needs to go. She just needs to go.
We shouldn't spend another dime in
No.
establishment. Not one soul that looks like us should be there.
And in our meeting last night, ladies, because all of you guys are a part of the group as well, someone mentioned that they have been sharing this information with younger women and they don't care. And that's kind of sad. So that's a whole nother issue that at some point, we need to address and fix. It is to help our younger women understand to have some pride in yourself. If they're feeling this way about us, and this is not all Asian shops, but it's quite a bit of them. And the ones that do it, we should not continue to patronize them. And they have this attitude, oh, she do some bomb nails, so I don't care, I'm gonna keep going. No, that's not the attitude you should have. But that's gonna put upon us to teach our young women a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
They treat, but even when you go to their other stores, like their clothing stores, they follow you around as if you're going to sell something. You're going to take something. And then when you do purchase something, you can't take it back and get your money back if it's something wrong with it. If you notice, if any of their stores, it's always no exchange, no money back, or no whatever.
Right.
Oh, you came here. If we go to Macy's and we didn't agree with what we got when we got
home, you can take it back.
Buttons missing, or the zipper is zipping up crooked, or whatever it could be, we should be able to take that back. We should be able to go and exchange it or whatever. But here their policies, if you notice, all the policies that they have, no refund, no exchange. Okay, but I don't like it, but it's crooked, but it's missing a button. You missed a button. It's always, they'll never own up to it, and it's not fair. You want to be in our community, you want us to spend money with you. If you give me a good product right away and you treat me right, I'm going to come back to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If you treat me with respect, I'm going to give you respect.
Mm-hmm. And that's when we
Our
encourage.
perfect client that I work with, Parks Meat Market. Mr. Parks.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love them.
Beautiful man. A beautiful man, and his wife, Mrs. Parks, they're really nice. You come
Yeah,
in, they treat you with respect.
yes.
They give you a good quality product. They give you the meat that you want. They give you what you need, and it's fair.
Mhm.
And they treat you with respect. Me and Keith drive all the way from Camarillo to Parks to get meat. So, sure.
Yeah, they're good.
I take Kenji to him.
Mhm.
I love Mr. Parks. I love Miss Parks. They treat us with love and with kindness, joy, and love.
Exactly. Exactly. I know there's a nail person in the Baldwin Hills Mall. And it's funny in all of my quest and all of this, I've had a couple of people mention her. She's another one she's a piece of work. And she talks to them people so rude. And I was in there one day and she didn't say anything crazy to me directly, but just the way she was just talking to everybody, I said, you know what? I'm cool. Like I can't. I'll wait and get my nails done somewhere else. But I can't sit up in here with you talking to people like this.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it was a lot of young girls, and they were sitting there taking it.
Mm-hmm. I wish we could encourage more Black women to start their own businesses. I wish we had something to like encourage them or to help them. I wish we had like more resources to help us so that we would know how to start our own business.
Did you read the email that I sent to the group today, Tracy? I mean, not Tracy, I'm sorry, Kenji. That's one of the things that we're working on. I have tracked down the owner of the whole mini mall where this nail salon is. I want to find out when her lease is expiring and what she pays. And then we've got some African-American nail techs that, hopefully if pull resources together to try to turn that shop into an African-American nail shop.
Mm-hmm. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Another thing too, I noticed that a lot of us, we always say we do need to start our own. We need to build our own and invest in our own communities. But a lot of times we have, because I know in the poetry community, we do have other poets who have their own businesses. And a lot of them say that same thing, that we need to invest in our community. We need to get our own. But the business owners are not rallying together to have workshops or provide some sort of information, because a lot of times people want to start businesses, but they have no clue where to begin. They don't know what to research for. Because I know when I first went into business, I Googled and looked up stuff and found out a bunch of money that it was things I paid for that I didn't need as a small business. So I would encourage anyone who has their own business to let people know, have workshops, or if we put workshops together, then invite Black business men and women who can share their stories. Or you could even have some that have had businesses and the business failed, and they can come in and explain why that business failed. And then you also have people who do who provide certain services, like you all see that I do the videos. I build web pages and I design, but I don't print the business cards, but I do design them. So people that do things like that can tell business people, hey, do you have a website? If you do, is it current? Because last week I was talking to one of my friends and he said he was highly upset because he wanted to go and patronize a couple of Black businesses. And when he went to the website wasn't up to date. He called the phone number to another one. The voicemail box was full. Or either they didn't have a website at all, or I noticed a lot of times too, a lot of businesses, mainly a lot of the people with the food trucks, they work solely through Instagram. But what about the people?
You gotta have a website.
Exactly.
Gotta have a website.
And when I go to these lunch trucks, I give them my business card. The first thing I ask, do you have a website? No, or you getting one? I can put one together for you. I would even be willing to teach someone how to build their own, because it's not that difficult. Just depends on what it is that you're trying to do. But for the most part, you can get just a basic website that gives whatever information you need, and then you go from there. And then you have someone to run those social media pages and your promotion, because you're running a business. So you don't have time to keep up on all that. So a lot of us have children that are computer savvy or live on Facebook. I live on social media to the point where people ask me, do I even have a job? As I do these things, and I have had people give me a couple of dollars here or there, like, can you put together this like page for me and run it every time I have an event. So I do those things, and there's other people out there who does them also. But I do encourage people who do provide these types of services, people who are in business for themselves, Black business and entrepreneurs, get together and teach the Black community how to put this together. Our schools don't have economics anymore.
No.
They don't teach that stuff. I remember I graduated in '87. So you think that was around the time where home economics was starting to drift off, and band was starting to drift off, and all of those things that we had when we were in school, they don't have them anymore in the Black community. So we have to find some kind of way to provide our community with the same resources that everyone else has.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's so funny, Lala. Me and my husband he's watching now. We were just talking about this yesterday about the websites. And he knows if I'm trying to do business with you and I go to search and you don't have one, I'm a little leery because, I for everything, the boutique, the nonprofit, everything I do, I have a website for it. So people can go and learn more about what I do, learn more about who I've worked with or whatever. You have to have that. Everything can't be on Facebook and Instagram and, and Twitter. You've got to have that web presence. And I know Erica, who is on Facebook with us, she is saying, we need to create Black business directories. And she also said that we need to have join Black investment groups and learn more about what did she say? What did you say, Erica? Oh, more grants for Blacks. Being able to tap into more resources, more money, so that we can build our businesses.
Right.
There used to be a Black business directory. I remember
Okay.
I don't know what happened to it.
Circulated around the radio station some years ago, but I haven't seen it lately. I don't know if anybody keeps up with it or whatever. Just like most of these publications, they kind of become obsolete at a certain point.
Yeah.
Because it used to be a book. So now everything is done on a website. So they didn't have the wherewithal to kind of make it go a little bit further. But even a book.
And something else we got to address is pricing. So someone posted that they have a license to do nails. She's African American. She said somewhere around the 80s or 90s. She said they were charging $35 for a full set and $15 for a fill. And she said then the Asians came in and they were charging $15 for a full set and $10 for a fill. And so it kind of knocked all of the African American people that were doing it out the park. So then we have to come back and figure out a way to do it the way they're doing it.
Yeah.
So, and then we have to provide a value so that if we do have to charge more, people don't mind because the value is there. I'll pay a little extra if it's something that's good and presents great value.
Right. It's the same with the stores. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I order stuff from online and it comes from China. And I might pay $15 for a dress, and I find that same dress in a Black boutique for $45, $50. So I would love to patronize, our people. But when it comes to me, like, being on a budget, and if a dress is $45 as opposed to $15, I can get 2 dresses and some accessories from here as opposed to getting that same trip paying you $45.
Right.
So I totally agree.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, I want to read a comment from one of my friends, Scarlett. She said
Sure.
it's like all of the white groups, like Lions Club and the Moose Club. It is a Moose Club. She said, I don't know the names. I think that's what they do for each other. And she's correct. There are clubs out here. When she mentioned the Moose Club, I know about them because one of my friends had a birthday party for her father that I had to decorate at. I decorated and we were the entertainment. But those people were so nice there at the Moose Club, and they told me that everybody is welcome at that particular club. They rent their space out to club members. That they had parking, it was cheaper, and then they have different events, and they have different what's the word I want to say? They offer different services to help people. But the thing is that we don't know about them, because if we see that, we assume that it's a white organization, and sometimes they're not. It's just that we won't go in there because maybe it says a Moose Lodge.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So I agree. We do need to have stuff in place like that, where we have, like, there's sororities and fraternities that have stuff like that, and it would be like almost something like that, where
Well,
it's a place that,
you have it with the
well, they have the urban
Urban League.
right?
You have the Urban League. Yeah, you do have the Urban League, but you have other organizations that stick together, like the Masons and the Eastern Stars. They stick together. They put together,
They funnel their money together.
They funnel their money together.
But see, the difference with them is you have to become a member. As far as like how to get in, is there a certain type of way to get in those type of clubs or what have you? I don't know what to call them.
It is.
It is, but I think the point would be that we have to kind of model what they're doing, I guess, as opposed to joining them. We need to kind of model as a community what those organizations are doing. Because everybody may not want to be a Mason or Eastern Star, but definitely what they're doing is to be modeled. Because we do, as a Black community, we do need to kind of pull together and funnel our monies together. But I definitely want to see, I would love to see some African American nail techs just swoop in and take over that building and make a killing.
They're here. My daughter, she has a girlfriend that right now, that's what she does. She goes to the lady and she does her nails. She's been doing my daughter's nails for years. I haven't personally gone to her, but she's been really good. I think she was out of spot 313 in Inglewood. I think that.
Okay. Oh yeah, I used to get my hair done here. But like Lala was mentioning too, once we start kind of doing these things and going forth and banding together and getting businesses, we've got to have the professionalism, because the minute you say your business opens at 10, but at 10:15 the door is still locked, you just lost business. They're going to go somewhere else, because I do it all the time. Oh, well, I'm here, it's 10:20 and you say it's 10 o'clock. So let me go over to somebody who actually opens at 10, like they said. So it's, and maybe there's classes that can be taught so that people understand, in order for this business to be successful, you have to stand behind your product. You have to be honest. You have to be professional. You have to be on time. You have to be fair. All of those things. You have to provide quality customer service. Even if you're being yelled at, you can't yell back. You got to learn how to be able to diffuse the situation, all of those things. And so if it means kind of teaching young entrepreneurs how to go about, being able to have a successful business, that would be great as well.
Right. Another thing I wanted to add too about that, a lot of young women, I believe they go to beauty college, because I did go back in like 1985, 86. I didn't finish, but during that time, that was when you saw a plethora of Black nail salons just opening up everywhere. And then by the time 1990 came, they all started shutting down, and then that's when they all started trickling in. And I believe a lot of Black women decided to just stay with hair rather than diving into being nail techs, was because they figured, well, we're not going to be able to get anything because they have everything sold up. So in order for us to start getting into business, I know a lot of times, like they say, you have to have money in order to start a business. But a lot of times, some of these women, they can start out mobile. And that way they don't have the overhead. All they have to do is worry about buying their inventory. And I know that too, it involves having money. But there are resources out there, grants and loans that they have for minority women, and a lot of young ladies or young men who do nails. A lot of them aren't aware of those resources. So I think it's all sorts of different avenues that we could take as independent business owners to give those ideas to them and encourage them to continue on. Go ahead and go to cosmetology school, be a nail tech. Because I remember, and this is one of the other things that has caused me to really get into this movement. When I was in beauty school, I told my dad I wanted to have my own salon. If I finished, would he open up a salon for me? And he told me, it's enough dumb beauticians in the world. And something in me just died and I quit. I never finished. And I just said, forget it, and went into a whole different direction. And by seeing all these Asian establishments, that's that same message that's being conveyed to the Black and brown community, where there are people who would get into the hair and nails, because they teach both. When you go for hair, you have to learn nails too.
Right.
But that is the message that's conveying, that, well, why am I going to go to beauty college? I'm not going to be able to get in a shop anyway, so I'll just go do something else, or I'll just stick with doing hair. And then to a lot of these beauty salons that's Black owned, they could open up their shops to have 1 or 2 nail techs to come in, and they don't even have to rent a booth, just work with them, and they can come in on appointment only status, or if they're mobile, they're connected with the shop, but the shop will take the appointment, and the technician can be mobile that way. It's all kind of different ways to do it. It's just we have to give those ideas to them.
Got it.
Lala, I feel convicted now, because I
can't hear you.
I feel bad now. I'm guilty. I'm guilty, because I did go to one of those high schools to where I did have cosmetology as one of my classes. I went to Fremont High School, and one of my classes, I learned how to do eyebrows by threading. I learned how to do eyebrows by plucking. I learned how to do pedicures, manicures, and all of that. I know how to do all of those things. And I had it in my mind that I was going to, this is in the 80s. I had it, and I'm older than you are. I graduated in 84. I had it in my mind that I was going to do a mobile, like a mobile business, like what you just said. And this was way back then. And when I did see the Asian people come into town and open up these salons, whatever, I'm not doing that. But I had the knowledge, and I had the wherewithal to go around and do it. I had the people to where I could go around, and that could have been my side hustle. But I just kicked it to the curb and did something else. So I am one of those people you just spoke about. I'm one of those people. I knew how to do the nails. I knew how to do all of that. And what's so deep is, since we haven't been able to go to the nail shop to get our nails and our toes done, my sister pulled out everything that you see in the nail shop. She pulled out the little metal, the little thing that you, what's the thing that you?
The drill.
The drill. She pulled out the drill. She pulled out the gel nail polish. She pulled out the foot bath. She pulled out everything. She said she went downtown and bought it all.
Right.
Yeah, so did I. So did I.
And she sat and she did my toes the other day. My toes has been banging for the last whatever with this gel polish. My sister did my nails because she was like, "Sissy, you can't go nowhere with them feet like that." So we did it ourselves at home, and it came out the very same way it did when I went to the nail shop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Again, like I said, the whole situation just struck a major chord with me because I just feel like this lady is being so very disrespectful to our community, to our people as a whole. The things that she was saying, again, comparing George Floyd to COVID-19, and he got his karma, and on and on and on. Some of it even brought me to tears. It was just like, really? And you take African American dollars and you're saying this type of stuff about us? I can't. And I'm grateful.
I won't call her a dummy. I'll just say she's just uneducated about the.
She's quite uneducated, but I'm so very grateful to Jawan and the council people of Carson for supporting us, and we're just kind of waiting to see what the end result is going to be. And like I said, I did track down who the owner is, because I'm curious to know what you are charging her in terms of the lease. Because again, maybe if maybe 5 or 6 African-American nail techs pull together, they can pay that rent and they can have them a shop, whatever it takes. But the community cannot keep a person like that. She's a pariah. You can't keep something like that in the community. She's got to go. The bottom line is she's got to go. And so we're waiting patiently for the governor to say he's opening up everything, but we are waiting for him to say the nail shops are open, because that is when we've already planned, with t-shirts and masks, and who's going to bring water and the signs, and we're making flyers that's going to have all of her racist posts on the flyers, and we're going to actually canvass a couple of days before the protest and pass those out. And we're making all these plans because this lady has to go. She has to go.
So the gym's open tomorrow.
The gym's open tomorrow.
The nail shop open tomorrow.
No nail shops yet. No nail shops. They must have heard about us because they are not opening up yet.
Let me just tell you, I've gone to the mall today. It's so much open, I can't understand why.
I know. It's kind of scary. And like I said at the beginning of the show, these numbers are going up. So people need to be careful. And we're not even talking about protest numbers or anything yet. The numbers that are going up right now is reflective of Memorial Day weekend and people kind of getting footloose and fancy free and going here, there, and everywhere. So, people need to still kind of dial it back a little bit. Wear your mask, social distance, be careful. Don't just run out there and just want to, do everything, because there is still a pandemic named Corona and she's dangerous.
Yes, she's playing for keeps.
Yes.
This ain't a game that you don't want none of this, boo-boo. You don't want none of this.
Yeah, I don't want to play with Corona.
You don't want Corona. I told you Corona that took my behind. Corona that took a whole lot from me.
Yes, we have a Corona survivor here. Miss Tracy.
I'm playing with you. Corona, she ain't no joke. She ain't no joke. And if they know what I know, and I'm even having, my baby gift is graduating. People who are coming to my event, they have to have a mask on.
Yeah, that's right.
My baby is going to wear a mask. I don't want to get sick. Don't want nobody else getting sick being around me or bringing nothing else back to me. So
yeah. And I don't understand Orange County. I don't understand Orange County and these places that don't want to do the mask and are refusing to wear the mask. Again, maybe we can get out a little sooner if everybody wore a mask, because they were protecting each other.
Now, let me say, I went to the Citadel Mall today because we're trying to get stuff for graduation. And I had a mask. You could not walk in the store without a mask. You couldn't go in. You waited in the line. You waited your turn to go in there to get your shop, do what you needed to do, and you had to have a mask. I respect that. I'm not offended that I have to wait in the line. I don't care if it's for my safety. That's the one thing people really need to understand. Don't get mad that you're standing in line to
That's
go to
right.
the grocery store. Don't get mad.
Right.
Stand in line. It's for your safety. You don't want to
Mhm.
be sitting out there hocking and trying to breathe because you got this thing. You got corona. You don't want that. You don't want to be sitting there
Absolutely.
about to check out because of this disease. This ain't no joke. Corona
Right.
is no joke. So, and once people get it in their head that this ain't just something that somebody made up, yeah, somebody probably did make it up, but however, it's affecting our lives.
Yeah. And most people
Yeah.
don't believe it's real until it affects someone in
Until
their
it affects
family
somebody
or
they know.
somebody they know. And that's when they're like, oh, it's real. Yeah. I told you I have 2 family members, 2 cousins that died from corona. And I don't know how the other one contracted it, but I know one of my cousins, his mother had told him not to go to an event. And he went anyway. And when he came back, I guess next thing you know, he was sick. He was in the hospital for a couple of weeks on the ventilator, and you know that ventilator is no
Yeah.
joke. And he's gone now.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
Well, we are definitely, when we do this protest, we are going to do it safely, and you can't join the protest if you don't have a mask. I won't have it. Because I don't want it no more than I want anybody who's going to participate in this with us catching it. So there's a couple of prerequisites to join this protest. You have to respect everybody. There's no profanity on your signs. There's going to be no profanity, period. You're not going to be cussing if she shows up or she's there, no cussing at her. We're not doing any of that. There's no I hate cops and I hate this group and that. We're not having any of that on the signs. And you must wear a mask. And if you can't do any of those things, then you need to stay home on the day of the protest.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to give her any reasons to try to call police.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
And that's another thing for her to say. Look at all these ignorant Black people out here without any masks.
Right.
And no,
Right.
we don't want to get COVID from protesting.
Absolutely. We're going to be the total opposite of everything that she has been spewing out. We are going to show her what educated, intelligent Black men and women are, because apparently she don't know.
Well, hopefully by that time she would have seen that the lady that was in Torrance.
Oh, I saw that today. I
was upset, but by that time, hopefully she would have seen that to know what it feels like.
Yeah.
To be discriminated against. Now, an Asian lady, she should understand. She should know that you don't want this. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants to be discriminated against.
Right.
The subject is real sensitive.
It really is sensitive.
And you want to play the Floyd game with us? You want to talk about our Floyd, the gentleman who that's changing our world, changing how we are going to view each other, or this next generation right now? She don't want no parts of that. She doesn't want no parts of that. These millennials are not. They're not who we were. I was here for the civil unrest, the last one. They're not who we were. They're not. They're not.
Nothing like us. Nothing like us.
Once they get a whiff of what this is, obviously, some of the millennials that really need to hear it probably don't even understand or don't even know what she's done. But if they do, if Black Lives Matter does get a whiff of what this situation is, it's going to be something totally different from this thing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. There's, the right people haven't heard the story.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll say that to you. Yeah, we're all passionate about it, but there's some people who haven't heard this story yet.
Yes.
Once that story has been put out there, I guarantee you it'll level up.
Yeah. And I encourage everybody to continue to share the petition, share Lala's video. That was a wonderfully awesome video that she put together. She put it together, she narrated it, and it was totally awesome. Share that video. Again, share the petition. If you haven't already signed the petition, I don't care where you live, sign the petition. I know we need so many numbers from Carson and Carson residents, but this pain that this lady is causing resonates with all of us, no matter where we live. So sign the petition, share the petition, because she needs to go. Yeah, exactly. Bye bye. She has to go. She has to go. This isn't something that can be ignored, because if anyone read the original post, there's no way you can't get emotional or feel some type of way about this, because she says some really mean and hurtful things. So we encourage you to join the Facebook group, because that's where you'll get more information of exactly when the protest is going to be, what you can do to help out. I've posted it on the Facebook Live, so look for that post. Join the Facebook group. I think we're at 600 now and growing. So we could use everybody's help, everybody's ideas. The only thing is you gotta be peaceful. We've only had maybe one little slight, somewhat of an altercation in the group, but we've been kind of keeping an eye on that and diffusing. Lala's laughing and diffusing that as well. So if someone's opinion is different from yours, I ask that you would respect that and find a peaceful way to share maybe a different opinion. We're not telling people that we ought to all be singing Kumbaya and agree, right, and say the same thing. That's not what I'm saying. But there is a peaceful way to disagree with people without getting funky and creating racket and causing people to start arguing and picking sides and all that. We're not going to do that. And so far, I would say the group has been, with all those people, it's been very, very peaceful. So we want to keep it that way. But
there's
I won't.
People, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
There's some people posting who don't know about the page, and there's some people that are saying they want us to send them the petition. So we'll just make sure that after the call, we can post the link to the page so that they can get involved. And also, Erica says she's connected to the National Action Network LA chapter. So you might want to talk to her about that.
Absolutely. Too. Absolutely, E. I put the link on there. Go on and join so I can add you to, because we have the group and then we have a planning committee within the group, which is a smaller number of people. That way it's a little bit more controlled and everybody knows who everybody is dealing with. With 600 people, there's no way to know who all you're dealing with. And although I'm not trying to hide anything, because everything we're doing is legal and above board, I still want to tread lightly, because I don't want anyone infiltrating the group and then, doing anything that is going to undermine what we're trying to do. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just don't trust everybody. Girlfriend has an issue. She wants to enrage some people to come up, like you said, to try to tear up her stuff. But you don't want her to be that person that comes around and tears up her own stuff and says, we did it.
Bingo.
So, nobody's stupid. We aren't going to play those games. We know what time it is. So, we want what you said, a peaceful protest, a peaceful, dignified protest.
Yes.
Just so you understand,
legal and above board.
Any way to get somebody, you need to hit them in their pockets. So she need to be hit in her pocket. She ain't been working on this time. She need to not work, just continue on the pathway that she's going on.
At least not here in Carson.
And let me also say this too. We're not trying, the group is, myself nor the group is trying to stop anybody else's protest. I think that's wonderful. Do your thing. The more the merrier. But if you're sharing Lala's video, please make sure you give her credit for that. I don't want to see anybody sharing that video and then trying to take credit like they put that video together. No, Lala DeVille put that video together, so give her credit and don't do that. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there.
Lala did it.
Lala did it. I wanted to talk about, but we're out of time, so I will make sure to get the Facebook group. I think it is on this thread here, so people see it. Hopefully they're joining as we speak. But But next week, I kind of want to talk about the whole defunding the police, because I think there's a lot of misconceptions about that as well. And it doesn't mean what I think people think it means just get rid of the whole police department, and that's not what it means. But we're out of time.
They should start over again. New people.
That's not what it means. So we're going to talk about.
See you later.
Oh, Lord Jesus. We're going to talk about defunding the police next week. But I want to thank, I guess my sister got really tied up from work, so it's all good, sis. Make that money. But thank you, Lala, for being our special guest today. And thank you again for putting together that awesome video and doing what you do. And you guys check her page out and check her out, because she is a very talented poet. So check her out. Earlier, before we went live, me, Tracy, and Kenji were singing. And I'm like, okay, so we got 3 singers and a poet online. So you guys check her out, because again, like I said, she's very talented. And thank you so much for joining this cause. And for everybody that's listening, thank you so much. I didn't expect this to grow the way that it has, but for all of the support, we are so mighty when we come together and unify as one against a common cause. So again, from the bottom of my heart, I say thank you so much. And I just want to leave you with my usual thought. Our glory does not consist in never falling, but in rising every single time we fall. Still I rise, still we all rise. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Love kisses. We love y'all.
Yes, we do.
You're listening to Still I Rise Tea Party with Tarsha T. Rodgers, only on LA Talk Radio.